Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 518. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today, we got Kevin Rickstraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
This week on the show, we're going to be talking about Azrael. We're also going to be going over some we've been watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters and on VOD and on Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and get into our review of Azrael. This is directed by E.L. Katz. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen anything from him, and he's also, I think he also directed at least one episode of there's a new horror show on Peacock called Teacup, and I think he directed at least one episode of that, maybe the pilot.
That's just sound made up. New horror show on Peacock called Teacup.
I don't know. I don't know what I watched the pilot and I have no idea what it's about. Like, it just the first episode was just like nothing. So I don't know. This is written by Simon Barrett, who I feel like I also haven't really seen him work on anything for a while. I think the last thing I remember was, oh, you know what? I didn't realize that he did Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I know that Wingard directed that one, but I didn't realize that Barrett wrote it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I have a synopsis here. In a world where no one speaks, a devout female-led community hunts down a young woman who has escaped imprisonment. Recaptured, Azrael is due to be sacrificed to an ancient evil in the wilderness, but fights for her own survival. Kevin, we'll start with you. What were your initial impressions of Azrael?
I gotta say, the very beginning of this, and I mean much of it, just kind of confused, not in a like big overarching way. It's just that this world, they just don't really explain anything. There's the talk of the rapture. People got rid of the sin of talking, and that's it. Like, that's really all you need to know.
And there's like zombie creatures.
Yeah, but I don't know what the hell they are. I don't know if they have to do. I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like if maybe I had some like biblical understanding, like maybe some of this would make sense. Like maybe this is talked about with the rapture. Like if you know about the rapture.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about the rapture, so
I was thinking that too.
I don't know what any of this is.
Like, maybe if I go back and read about the rapture, they'll talk about
she's angry,
the burnt up zombies.
Yeah, I guess, like, I don't know if they tried scorching the earth and those guys survived. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know what any of their motivations are. I don't know the camp's motivation for anything. I don't know why they're doing anything. She just seems really upset, and she's taking them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a
Which
revenge
after for a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a revenge story at the end of the day. There's some somewhat exciting set pieces in here. As the synopsis says, that it is a mostly dialogue-free movie. There's one scene where somebody does not have the voice removal surgery thing.
Yeah, which again was odd, because that guy seemed like he's been around in the area a long time.
Yeah, it was interesting because he has a truck, and it's like a pretty nice truck, and it's like got all the lights and stuff on it, and it makes me wonder, like, what's going on outside of this world that they're in this forest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just there's so much that is not explained even remotely.
No, I mean, they include some like biblical passages and stuff here and there, which really do nothing for me.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm assuming that they're biblical. I have no idea if it's all just me.
Right? Yeah, same here. It might not have anything to do with the actual rapture.
Yeah, because I could be sitting there like, oh shit, they say that in the Bible. Okay, fuck yeah. And then my wife could walk in and just be like, no, that's not in the Bible at all.
Yeah, I'm like, I admittedly know nothing about
I
the Bible or the rapture or anything.
yeah, I feel like I'm just having this realization. I'm very much like with the Bible, like how like older people are with like AI and stuff. Like you could just tell me that it's from the Bible, and I'd just be like, "Oh shit, really?" I have
Yeah.
no idea, and I'm not going to look it up either. I just take
Yeah.
your word for it. If you tell me it's in there, I'm just like, "Oh wow, okay."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looks wise, nothing to write home about here. I was not very impressed with the looks of this. The visuals I thought were middling at best. It just takes place in a brown forest. Everything is brown.
Mm-hmm. Dirty.
It's it's a post-apocalyptic type of, dystopian future thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing unique here really as far as the visuals go. Not super into it. The creature design, I thought that the makeup was pretty good. Like it did look like, these creatures or whatever the hell they were had like hard ass burnt skin that was pretty
Mm-hmm.
gross. So I thought that looked good. Lots of practical effects in here too. It's pretty gory. And I will say that Samara Weaving, like in a lot of her movies, just goes through the ringer, man. I think that she's fantastic, and in everything she's in, and she just like nothing is off limits with her. She just goes for it, and I think that that's great.
And I think that was the thing that ultimately kind of won me over. It's just like her progressively things getting worse for her. Just at a certain point, for at least me, at a certain point, I was like, yeah, I don't really care about this world. It's just like she's getting the shit kicked out of her, but man, she just keeps kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's good enough for me. I think at the end of the day, it was to a certain extent. Like I don't think I'm going to remember this movie, but
No, same. I think that the build up to like when she just goes nuts at the end, I think makes it mostly worth it to see. I don't really have a lot to say about this movie because I feel like that there's just not much here. It doesn't feel like a very unique movie. It's just a bunch of people in a forest that are trying to kill this woman, and then this woman trying to kill them. But then there's like a couple monsters here and there that they have to work around.
yeah, and again, there's like I don't understand the monsters at all. Like nothing that's explained about them.
It appears that like they don't show up unless there's blood, like a significant amount of blood.
Yeah, they do seem.
And did they just like stay away? Because it seemed like that they have like some defenses set up around the camp, but like, is that good enough? Like, did they get attacked? And also, like, they have guns and stuff. So we're not like so far into the future that like there's no bullets or anything like that. They still have guns. And again, like that guy
gasoline somewhere.
Right. Yeah. They have cars, they have guns. And like, again, that guy that drove up, like he had like his truck looked like it was in really good shape. So it's like
kitted out and everything.
You wonder if it's like a village situation.
That would be interesting.
The outside world is just like normal. and in this one forest, it's like all this craziness. I felt like everything felt a little bit undercooked for me. Like there was the revenge plot, as it were, is the reasoning behind the revenge is such an afterthought, really. Like, yeah, I get it. Like this is her partner or whatever, and this is her going out for revenge, but it's like their relationship was barely established. The bad guys, the human bad guys, like what are their motivations?
I don't understand these guys at all.
Yeah, there's so many question marks. And the thing is, like when you have a movie that's completely dialogue free, you really need to lean on lots of context clues and things like that in order to engage the audience and propel the narrative. And I feel like that's just not quite happening here. Like, yeah, I get it. There's like the woman the pregnant woman, and she's like making drawings on the like church wall that seem to be sort of like prophetic in a way. But then she's also like, I don't know, talking to the crack in the wall. It's just
Yeah. This is what I don't understand, because when you're introduced to the creatures, it seems as though that this little camp either like is making sacrifices to these creatures, but I don't know if it's just like to keep them at bay. But at the same time, it does seem like they kind of revere them a little bit,
yeah,
like it's
it's
almost like their religion.
Mhm.
And the whole baby thing, where that ends up playing out at the
that
end,
yeah,
that
that's
confuses me because I
that
just
yeah, there's nothing else like it before that happens. Like when that again skirting around what it is, what occurs, but when that reveal happens, you're just like, what? Like nothing. There was nothing else like
yeah,
that.
and but also like why are you responding in that way? Like, what did you think?
It's yeah, it's all just very odd, and I just feel like it's a bit underexplained, underdeveloped.
It's extremely underdeveloped and explained. And it also didn't feel that didn't feel that original, because like right off the bat, I'm just kind of thinking, oh, this is like The Last of Us, and she's just taking out a camp of scars. That's all.
Mhm.
That's really all it felt like. And then they didn't really add much to anything like world building to make me think otherwise. So I'm just like, okay,
Mhm.
like I can play this game right now. Like I can play this whole scene and have more fun.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like I don't even want to say it's a missed opportunity because I feel like
I don't know what the opportunity is.
yeah, like I don't feel like what's here, even at its core, even if things were explained better, I don't know how much more this is than just another sort of average post-apocalyptic, dystopian future movie. Like
Yeah,
that's
and I
it doesn't really do much to
no,
elevate itself above everything else like it.
and I do, because when I watched this movie, I didn't read really anything about it.
Same,
So the
same.
fact that
I have
the
no idea.
synopsis is like Azrael is due to be sacrificed, I just assumed that she was Azrael, but when I was watching it, but I had no idea. And which even funnier, because at the end they do the credits and they have all these names and who played who, and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, because
Yeah.
no one had names.
Yeah, it's like how am I supposed to know? Oh wait, that was Miriam, that was Keenan and Luther and
Yeah, like
Anton. And you're just like, okay.
again, the only reason I assumed, I was like, well, I guess Samir Weaving is
Yeah.
Azrael. It was like Azrael played by Samir Weaving. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
whatever you say, whatever you say.
Yeah, I went into this completely cold, so I didn't see any trailers or anything like that. All I knew was that it was a horror movie directed by E.L. Katz, starred Samara Weaving. I was like, okay. And I saw the poster, and that's pretty much it. So I didn't even know that it was like a post-apocalyptic thing. I didn't know it was set in like either an alternate present or the near future or whatever. Didn't know any of that going into it. So, and I didn't know that they didn't speak either.
Yeah,
So,
which that was, it seems like a big plot point. Like this whole movie kind of hinges on them not speaking, them pronouncing their sin of speech, and it's just like a little text on the screen, and then it's like,
mhm.
okay, moving on. It's like, wait, like you don't have time to explain any of this. Just like 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes of why
Yeah,
and
yeah,
who's doing it. Because there's this other guy that lives in the world that I guess is commuting from downtown. He has no idea any of this shit's happening. He's got music. He's talking. He's got gas. He's
yeah,
got who's making them cut out their voice boxes? Who's
yeah.
doing this
Like,
surgery?
are they doing it to themselves? Is it like a professional thing? Like, yeah, crazy. All right. Lots of questions, few answers. That's Azrael. Kevin, what are you going to give it out of 10?
At 10, I give it like a 4, maybe.
I don't really know where I'm at with this one. Probably a 5, maybe for me. 4.5. We'll say 4.5 because while I do think that it is pretty average, I don't think that I will remember this very long. Like it's this movie will very quickly exit my brain, I think.
Yeah. But if you're looking for a specific thing, which is Samara Weaving just exponentially getting the shit kicked out of her more, and then her kicking more shit out of other people, it delivers on that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the end was really fun when she was like fucking everybody up.
She just goes God mode.
Yeah, shotgun blasts and like, yeah, pretty.
She just keeps winning. It keeps kicking her down. She just keeps winning.
Yep. All right, that's Azrael. Let's go ahead and talk about some of what we've been watching. Kevin, I believe it is your turn this week.
Well, I'll go right into more Samara Weaving, and I watched Ready or Not.
Nice.
2019.
I just pulled up your list here. I'm excited to hear what you think about Ready or Not.
The interesting thing is, I didn't really know who Samara Weaving was when I watched Azrael. Like, I didn't know. And then when we watched Ready or Not, I was like, wait, is that the woman from Azrael? So it was like a crash course this weekend of Samara Weaving.
Oh, it's interesting. So it wasn't linked at all.
No.
So the Samara Weaving thing was not linked.
No.
Just a happy coincidence.
Yeah, because this finally popped up on Hulu. I was like, yeah, I've been kind of I heard good things about Ready or Not. Then I was like, Samara Weaving. I was like, I know that name. Oh, okay. This, I kind of had fun with this. This to hit the spot, you know? I wanted kind of a low stakes, kind of fun, horror-esque movie. Like, it's not like legit horror, but, you know, big cast, big house. Because I've been kind of like, I've been really in a like haunted mansion type. Like that's the vein that I'm in right now. That I'm trying to get that itch. This provides pretty much everything except the haunted portion of it. But what the haunted is replaced with, which is, you know, people hunting people, is good enough, I think. And I got to say, the way that it ended just really made me happy.
Yeah, what a bonkers ending. I loved how it ended. I thought that was so funny, and it was just such a perfect way to conclude the movie.
And I think the whole way through the movie, for the most part, I was just kind of like, this is all right. Like, this isn't bad. This is kind of doing the trick for, you know, a weekend night movie. Like, I'm kind of having fun. It's not that great. And then that ending transpires. And I was just like, yes. Yeah. Sign me up for more of these. Okay. Like, I didn't think they would do that. And they did. And I'm very happy.
I had a lot of fun with Ready or Not. I think it's a really fun movie. Good stuff.
It is. It's just a ridiculous, stupid premise, which I love.
And they don't take it seriously though. Like it's very there's a ton of comedy in it. Like I would say it's more of a horror comedy than anything.
Yes, which is a good point. And not only that though, is that like the comedy isn't relentless. It's not like they're trying to be like comedy forward. It's in bits and pieces, and it's not laugh out loud funny or anything like that, which would get annoying real fucking quick. But it's not that. It's kind of like a lighthearted goof.
Yeah.
That's really disgusting at times.
Great. That's Ready or Not. I saw Mind Leech. Sucks to be you. That's the tagline, which I love. This is a creature feature directed by Paul Brzezinski and Chris Cheeseman. Takes place in 1998 in a small Canadian town, and it's about a leech, like a mutated leech that attaches itself to people and takes over their bodies and makes them ill, makes them go crazy makes them go crazy and kill.
Well, at first you said it sounded like there was a question mark on the end of that.
Well, I mean, it does, but it's like I'm not really sure why it does, but like it also makes them drive around and like it's kind of wacky. I enjoyed this. It's only 61 minutes, so I mean, this is like almost a short film, I would say. Like it, I mean, it's breezy, and it's a little too breezy, actually. I could have used a lot more here because I liked what was here, but it's just not, there's just not enough. Like, I feel like they could have expanded this so much. And I don't know. I mean, it's a very low budget film. So I don't know if there were, you know, finance limitations or anything. I think it looks fine for being so low budget. It's, you know, it uses like a puppet for the leech. So it does kind of like harken back to old school creature features. The, you know, acting is so. Some is decent, some is not. The script is actually pretty good. I enjoyed some of the dialogue. And yeah, so I give it a light recommend. I just wish there was more here. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of what Mind Leech could have been.
Gotcha. Mind Leech. Incredible. I watched the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 from 1974.
Ooh,
Sergeant. Classic. This is on Amazon Prime, Tubi, a couple of different places. Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw. This is the first time I've seen Robert Shaw in something that's not Jaws. So that was different. All this time I didn't know that he was English. I didn't know he was a Brit. I had no idea. But man, his character in this movie is just so fucking calm and collected. They hijack a subway car. Well, I should say they hijack the whole subway train and then break off all the pieces, and then they're just left with one subway car. And I just love that, like in the 70s, that's just something that you could do. That was an option at times, you know? If things were financially for you, you could just steal something and hold it for money. Like you could hijack a plane, hijack a subway. You could hijack certain like transportations and just hold on to it and be like, give me like $1 million from the mayor, and then you can have your subway back. And just everything that, like, what I love about this movie is it's really tense, and like the way that the thrilling aspects are metered out is just absolutely perfect. But there's also all these like little bits, like Walter Matthau giving a tour to like the Japanese visitors that has nothing to do with this movie at all. It's just like this little bit of comedy at the beginning, and then they disappear because now he has to deal with this hijacked subway car, and they're just never seen from again, ever. Like, why were they there? Why was that a part of the movie? I don't know, but it was fun, and I'm glad it was there. And there's just so many aspects like that, where it just goes off on these little detours for no reason, but you enjoy them, or at least I did. And I gotta say, the way that this all plays out, because it's a very taut thriller in my mind, it's just fantastic. Pacing, performances, script, everything is great. But the way that this movie ends is just like so, like, something that you would expect in like a slapstick comedy. It's just so bizarre. But everything about it is perfect, just about. So good.
There was a remake of this, wasn't there?
Yeah. Which has to be bad. There's no way. There's no way that it's not bad. Because I'm pulling it up right now. Tony Scott, Denzel Washington, John Travolta, James Gandolfini, Turturro.
Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. I have a feeling that it's not, though.
Yeah, probably not. It's later, Tony Scott. All right. I saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is the new Beetlejuice. However many years later. 30 years later, something like that. You know, this was okay. I really don't have much to say about it. Like, I don't think that it's anywhere even close to the original. I don't think it's anywhere close to what Tim Burton used to do as far as movies, but it's closer. It's a little bit closer to the classic Tim Burton stuff. There are some funny moments in this. One thing that I appreciate very much is that I was afraid that this was just going to be all CG. You know, like one of the things that I like the most about the original Beetlejuice is all of the like crazy makeup and like masks and all the creatures and all of the all of the underworld type stuff. Like all the set design and the just everything about that is what one of the things that I like the most about the original. And I got to say, like that they went back to that style. So almost all of the dead people in this are done with actual prosthetics and makeup and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stop motion like puppetry or like animatronic puppetry. And the sandworms, I don't know if they are actually stop motion in this or if it's like the kind of CG that makes it look like stop motion where they like kind of lower the frame rate. So I couldn't really tell, but it did look like it was stop motion like the original. So in those regards, I definitely appreciated it. Now, there is CG in this, and when it does show up, it's absolutely horrible. Like this, some of the CG in this movie is so bad, but fortunately, that's not the bulk of it. The plot is pretty good. I was worried that they were just going to like basically remake the first one. And while there are definitely overlaps in the narrative, I think that it's different enough to make itself feel like a new story. You know, Michael Keaton is incredible. Like he just goes right back into that role like it was like he just did it yesterday. I mean, it was really fun to see him back in that role. And Catherine O'Hara is phenomenal in this too. She's so funny. And then, you know, Jenna Ortega, she's good. She was good casting too. She plays Winona Ryder's daughter. And yeah, lots of fun stuff here. But oh yeah, Willem Dafoe plays this like undead detective guy with his like brain sticking out. And he was just hamming it up. He looked like he was having the time of his life in this movie. And Monica Bellucci plays, she's kind of like the main bad guy, sort of, but what they do with that kind of plot line feels very haphazard and not quite developed at all. So yeah, I would say middle of the road for me. Liked it, didn't love it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, it's like it's fine, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's like has me even thinking about watching that movie is just seeing Michael Keaton play that character at his age now.
I felt like this sort of like how I felt about Trainspotting 2, where it's like, yeah, it's okay. You know, yeah, it's fun to revisit these characters in this setting and stuff and whatever, but it wasn't anything close to the original.
Hey, speaking of revisiting, I revisited The House of the Devil by Ty West.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been a while since I saw this movie. And it's like, what the hell? I was like, I kind of remember liking this. And I've been removed from it long enough that it wasn't necessarily a rewatch, but it was like, because I kind of remembered some story beats to it, you know, like the main things. Like so nothing really surprised me story-wise. But I will have to say that I kind of forgot like how good this looks. Like how much he nailed that like pastiche of like going for that certain look and feel, which he just absolutely nailed. And because of that, I feel like I enjoyed this a lot more the second time around. I found it far more surprising in terms of just like the overall look.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think it's great. I think that Ty West is he does such a good job of nailing a specific visual style, like an era, like a specific era in genre cinema.
Because this feels exactly like as soon as it's established of like what they're going for, it's like immediate. You're like, okay, he's going for this. Oh, and he fucking nailed it. And then it just like it keeps getting reiterated to you throughout the movie. You're just like, oh yeah, no, this looks real good.
Yeah, and like he was able to do that off of a relatively low budget too. With Maxine, I mean that carries over with Maxine or well, the three the X trilogy. Each one of those has a very specific visual style as well, and you can clearly see how those movies, like what other movies influence those. And he does, yeah, he does the same thing. He just absolutely nails it. Like, X is a clear homage to Texas Chainsaw, and then Maxine is like, more of like the 80s grimy LA, dirty city. It's just, yeah, he does such a good job. Cool. That's House of the Devil. I saw Hellboy, The Crooked Man.
All right.
Now, I had no expectations for this. It looked like garbage. Like I saw the trailer, looked out like absolute garbage. Poster looks like garbage. Everything looks like garbage, except maybe the makeup, like the costuming and stuff for the Hellboy character looks pretty good. This is directed by Brian Taylor, which I didn't know until after I started watching it, and I was like, who directed this? And I looked it up, and yeah, so it's Brian Taylor. It's the guy who did the Crank movies and Mom and Dad, which I liked Mom and Dad, but he also did Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. So you have a kind of a quirky director here. This is such a weird movie. So it seems like, and I haven't looked into this, but I imagine that this is one of these movies where whoever owns the rights to it needed to put something out in order to keep the rights. So they just, threw a couple bucks at Brian Taylor and had him make this movie. It's extremely low budget, but I think that kind of makes it interesting. Like looking at the Hellboy franchise, the first two movies are these like really big budget, sort of major studio movies directed by Guillermo del Toro, and they're big movies. This movie is not big. It's very scaled down. It mostly takes place in the in the forest of Appalachia, and like it takes place in the 50s, and it's just this really kind of stripped down horror story. It doesn't get into like giant cosmic threats or anything like that. It's a very contained movie, and there are quite a few set pieces in this that I thought were really fun and pretty creepy. I'm not going to say the movie's good. It's not. It is way too ambitious for what it is. Like there is a significant amount of CG in this movie, and it's very bad. There's like CG spiders and stuff like that. But I kind of liked the look of it overall. It has this very kind of rural, creepy, like mountain people cult vibe, which I was kind of into. And there's like witches and like creepy. The Crooked Man itself, he's kind of a creepy character. And evidently this is an adaptation from one of the more popular Hellboy arcs that was one of the more darker Hellboy arcs, I guess. Never read comics, but yeah, I don't know. And the guy who played Hellboy didn't do a horrible job either. Like he was fine. So I guess it wasn't as bad as what I was expecting. It's still not very good, but I can totally see this garnering a cult following. Like I think they pulled it from theaters, or maybe they didn't even release it in theaters. Like it was heading to theaters, but then like I don't know if they pulled it or what, or maybe they didn't release it at all and then just dumped it on VOD. But I can totally see this getting that kind of cult classic status. I would liken it to like Punisher Warzone, or like one of these movies that's not good, but there's like kind of something there that makes it fun.
To keep an eye out and see if that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got to see if it happens.
Yeah, mark my words. Go ahead and mark them.
Mark them down.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. We got Smile 2 coming out. I'm not really interested in this. However, I did like Smile 1. So
I was gonna say I still haven't seen Smile One, which
it's
I've heard good things.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's creepy. It's
Good.
like a PG-13 horror, I think. So it's not like crazy or anything, but you know, I'll check this out when it hits VOD. Let's see what else we have. Honora. I think Honora is probably limited release. I can't imagine that's getting a wide release, but I'm pretty excited for that. That's the new Simon Baker. We also have Bookworm, which I'm kind of interested in. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bookworm, but it's like a sort of a family film from the looks of it, but it's directed by Ant Timpson.
Oh,
So the guy who did, what was that called? Come to Daddy or something, whatever that was. It was with Elijah Wood.
yeah.
It
Yep,
was like
Come to
super weird.
Yeah.
I liked that movie quite a bit. And this movie looks like it's kind of quirky. Looks about a father and a daughter, and I don't know. I think that this one looks like it could be pretty good. That's pretty much it for theaters. Let's see what we have on VOD platforms. Starting with the 15th, that's Tuesday, we got Alien Romulus coming out.
Oh,
So
yeah, nice.
yeah, now's your chance to see some Alien Romulus if you haven't yet, and I highly recommend it. We got The Wild Robot, the animated one. Got Brothers. That was the one that came out just like a week ago. That was a very quick turnaround. Got Reagan coming out.
Oh yeah, Reagan time.
Dude, I saw some clips of this and it looks like the most ridiculous thing. Like I might have to watch it just because it looks so bad.
You gotta tell me how it is then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I want to.
There's no.
We also, yeah, you're right. We also have Die Alone. I mean, not when it's Halloween season. You know, I'm fitting in those spooky movies.
Well, yeah.
I Will Never Leave You Alone. We got 9 Windows. 9 Windows.
9 windows.
On the day of her graduation, Liza and her parents are driving to a restaurant to celebrate when a truck slams into her car. 18 months after the car accident, Liza is unable to walk and lives alone after her parents' death. Feeling responsible, Liza spends her days trolling vloggers on a local website. Late one night, a new video is uploaded in which a man sets fire to a dog.
What the fuck, dude?
Where's this going? We're zigging, we're zagging.
Yeah, you're all over the place. It sounds like it's the synopsis of 9 different movies.
Yeah.
And just one sentence from each.
Dear Lord. And there's a lot more after what I already read.
This is out of control.
We also have Rippy. It looks like this appears to be a creature feature about a kangaroo.
Oh yeah?
That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
A zombie kangaroo, yep.
What? Oh, now you're talking.
It's about a zombie kangaroo. All right. Okay.
Why not?
Hey, you know what? That might be fun. You never know. You know, like the creature features, they could either be really cool or really bad. Like, you know, there's usually no in between with those.
Oh yeah. And that's the last thing you want is something in between. Could you imagine like just a middling, boring creature feature? No. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what? What are those? There's like a crocodile ones. There's like 2 of them. I think it's called like Blackwater or something like that. I think those are kind of in the middle. They're just like kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we have Killer Influence. We got The Bouncer. We got The Stoic. Got Children of the Pines.
Oh.
Got Sugar Baby. Got American Homeboy.
American Homeboy, huh?
Yeah, what's the name of that movie? Got Nice Enough. We got Between the Beats. What is Between the Beats? San Francisco was the epicenter of the American rave scene and witnessed some legendary events that began in the early 90s. Okay, so it's about raves. And then we got Negligence. That's about it for VOD. Let's see what we got on Netflix this week. Woman of the Hour. This is the one about the dating game killer.
Mm.
I'm very familiar with this story, but I'll still probably check this movie out just because I'm kind of interested. Like it could be pretty good. Got the Shadow Strays. Now, it's funny. I just found out about this movie like a week ago, not even probably, and I was like, I said to my wife, I'm like, hey, I wonder what Timo is up to, because I feel like he hasn't come out with a movie in a while, and that same very night, I ended up seeing the trailer for the Shadow Strays, which is directed by him.
There you go. Yeah, this man.
It's going to be. I think it's going to, but with that director, it looks like it's going to be just crazy, bonkers, over the top. Lots of bloody action. I'll definitely be checking it out.
No, without a doubt, you're going to be checking that out. That was made for you.
Yeah, anything that Timo does. Like they're not. He doesn't make the best movies ever, but they're always entertaining, at the very least. Also on Netflix, we have Sweet Bobby, My Catfish Nightmare.
Sorry?
Sweet Bobby, My Catfish Nightmare.
Sweet Bobby, My Catfish Nightmare. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know if this is... I'm guessing it's a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking documentary.
10-year catfish nightmare.
God, can you imagine? Like, what? How does that happen? How do you get catfished for 10 years? Like, there's only so many excuses you could have to, like, not show yourself to someone,
Yeah.
Speaking of catfishing, on Hulu this week, we got Fanatical, the catfishing of Tegan and Sarah.
Tegan and Sarah got catfished?
Yeah, I saw a trailer for this a while ago, and I can't remember what it's like about. But I remember thinking that it looked kind of interesting.
Everybody getting catfished.
It'd be funny if Tegan catfished Sarah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how that would work.
I don't either.
We also have The Devil's Climb. That's documentary about a mountain, I guess. Mountain climbing.
Mountain climb with the devil.
Oh yeah. On Shudder this week we have Mads. What is this? Is this old? 18-year-old Romaine has just graduated. I think this might be an old one. No, maybe not. Can't tell. All right. Blu-ray this week. We have A Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook. This is the original 84 Nightmare. We got the Project A collection, 83 to 87. This is Project A and Project A Part 2. I guess. I don't know what Project A is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe Hong Kong? It's like a Hong Kong film? Jackie Chan?
Project?
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
There you go.
Let's see what else we have here. Land of the Dead from 2005. Brick from 2005. Man, I loved that movie. We got Cowboys and Aliens from 2011.
Oh boy.
never saw that, but still feel like I'm not really missing out.
No.
We got Thanksgiving from 2023. That's the Eli Roth one. That's actually quite good and worth checking out.
Oh, I would know because I keep forgetting that Netflix has the thing now where you have to, like, certain movies you have to pay for.
Oh, really?
So, like, every time I see it, because it'll be like streaming on Netflix, I'm like, finally, I get to use my Netflix. And I pull it up, and then it's like, you have to upgrade your whatchamacallit in order to watch Thanksgiving. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to fucking do that.
Yeah, screw that.
Ridiculous.
Screw all that noise, I say. The Ring is coming out in 4K. This is the 2002 one, so I think that's the American one.
Yeah, pretty sure.
2002. I think the original one came out in like 99 or 2000. Let's see what else we got here. American Movie coming out in 4K. Prairie Home Companion from 2006. That show's still on? Prairie Home Companion?
I have no idea.
Hope not. The Demon from 1960. I hate that show.
Same.
The Demon from 1963. That's a Criterion. Oh, what is this? Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. This is 4K, and it is a 50th anniversary collection that looks like it comes in a big box. Now, what's contained in this box, I have no idea. It looks like it contains it looks like it's a 3-discer. Oh, wow. So the multi-disc set will include a new 4K edition of the film, a bonus disc containing extra features, an exclusive VHS release of the movie, and it's going to be in its own box, which is a replica of the iconic chainsaw of the film. Opening the chainsaw triggers the sound of Leatherface wielding the chainsaw in the film. Each box will be numbered, and only 5,000 have been created.
Boy.
This is a limited edition, boy. Wonder how much this bad boy is. Oh, the chainsaw looks like it's like an actual plastic chainsaw. Oh, it's $300. Yeah. Oof.
God damn.
That's a tough sell, man. For one, like if it was all of the Texas Chainsaw movies plus the extra stuff, that's maybe. Awesome. But it's, like the VHS version is pretty cool, and the chainsaw thing, I don't know. Anyway, what do we got on Criterions this week?
Oh, we got 2. That's Pandora's Box from 1929, and then Demon 70. Masahiro Shinoda.
Nice. Cool.
There you go.
That's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. And if you could, consider giving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. Kevin Rakeshaw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.